Hi, I'm Karen, founder of Wisdom of the Wounded. The ministry's purpose is to help you care for your friend or your loved one or a coworker who's going through one of those dark valleys in life. Maybe they're grieving the death of a loved one or experiencing a divorce, or they're living through cancer, and you really want to help them, but you don't know what to say or do. That's where Wisdom of the Wounded is there to help you. We have created a video series called Don't Be a Verbal Villain. And in each of these videos, we'll highlight 3 things to do and 1 thing to not do. To do, we want you to be there, to encourage the person to talk, and to listen. Don't be a verbal villain. And what is a verbal villain? Sometimes in our effort to quickly make someone feel better, we use words that have the opposite effect. When we use quick fixes in caregiving, it's kind of like a villain who steals the healing that could have happened. So let's look at the verbal villains. Today's verbal villain is the guru. As you can see, he perceives that he is sitting at the top of this mountain of knowledge, and he is anxious to share a golden nugget with you because he has the answer to whatever your problem is. Here are some common things. He really throws around a lot of platitudes and cliches. Don't cry over spilt milk. Money can't buy happiness. Think positive. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Count your blessings. The grass is greener on the other side of the street. For every situation, he has a little nugget that he'll throw into the caregiving situation. Here's Karen, and she says to this caregiver, "My mother died and I'm still so sad." He has the answer. He would say, "She's in a better place." When my mother died, 3 people said this to me: how wonderful, she's out of her misery, and she's in a better place. I believed both of those things were true, but I wanted her to be here because she was an important part of my life. Or he might say to her, cherish all the good memories you have. You'll find peace in them. Karen's thinking, it's those good memories that is causing me so much pain right now. Or at least she lived a good, long life. That's your opinion, not mine. This is one that really I've heard several times. God needed another angel. I want to tell you a personal example. Many years ago, I went to this funeral, and a son got up to give tribute to his father who had died. And he said, my little son, 3-year-old son, said to me, "Why did God make Grandpa die?" And I told him because God wanted to play basketball with Grandpa. I was horrified then, and every time I tell the story, I'm horrified again, because what did that little boy think? I don't think I like this God very much. I wanted to play basketball with Grandpa. I think we have to really be careful with young children. They take things very literally. And don't say things like, "We lost Grandma," because the little kid thinks, well, why don't we go find her? Or don't say, "Grandpa went to the hospital and died," because just wait till that little kid has to go to the hospital. He doesn't want to go there and die. So just pay attention to how literal young kids are. Obviously, this guru is not paying any attention to Karen's thoughts and struggles. What could have he said that would help me, in this case, help me get my anguish and sadness on the outside? And I want to make a clarification here. The things I'm going to suggest he could have said is not in a funeral home, because there you have a long line of people usually, and it's not the time to elicit a story. This would be because people go through a long grief process when someone they have loved died. So this is in those weeks and months. Stay tuned to that person who is still struggling and grieving. What could you say? What do you miss the most about your mother? Or do you have a fun story about your mom? Tell me more about your mom. I really like the idea of tell me more or tell me about. I remember when a friend of ours' son was killed in a biking accident. And every year when that anniversary of that death came around, Larry and I would go and visit our friends. One time I couldn't go, but Larry went and he sat down at the table, and all he said was, "Tell me more about Philip. I never knew him." And they talked and shared and cried and laughed and told stories. So remember, tell me about invites people to talk, or tell me more. Don't be a guru. And there are other verbal villains. So we hope that you will see all the different videos to guard against being a verbal villain. God bless.